So with myself, my name is Calum White. I'm the CEO and founder of White & Co Real Estate. It's now White & Co Group. There's quite a few businesses that fall under it now, but in the beginning I moved to Dubai when I was 21 years old. I'm now 31, I'm getting old. And I started off as a leasing broker. I then moved on to be a sales broker. Then I sold some off-plan. Then I moved on to being an area manager. Then I was a partner in a company, and then finally now have my own agency, which has grown at a rapid rate, which now has over 400 staff. 300 of those brokers, 100 of those back-end staff, and a lot of people that help all the cogs turn in real estate. And it's been quite a journey. It's been a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed doing this since the moment I got here. I knew from the moment I moved to Dubai that I would have a real estate agency. I just didn't know how long it would take. We opened White & Co. We actually got the trade license open just as COVID was ending. So when everyone else was closing businesses, we were in the middle of opening one. So we took quite a risk there, and it's paid off, which is fantastic. But it could have went one of two ways. But we had the right people there. We had a lot of good brokers that have joined us. We had a lot of good brokers that we've trained and made. And it's been a lot of fun. Yes, it's definitely something that I think every agent should aspire to, eventually having their name on the wall and seeing others succeed. Because once you've made a certain amount of money, you get more fulfillment from helping other people succeed now. Or that's how I feel. So it was never about being the boss. It was when I was a broker, I saw a lot of agencies at the time, which has changed now. It's much better now. But at the time, I didn't feel like we were appreciated as brokers. I thought we were just there to take our 50% and we should be lucky to get our 50%, and we should be lucky to work at the company. A lot of companies, it was you work for them, whereas at White & Co, you work with us. It's a lot more of a partnership rather than boss-employee structure. We want to give people all the tools that they need to make the money that is life-changing. We want them to have fun on the journey as well. There's no point in moving to Dubai from whatever country you've moved from to have a misery. You want to enjoy life as well. You want to, hopefully if you stay in Dubai, you want to have a family, you want to retire early, you want to go down all these routes. So the big thing for me, it was that I'd seen in the market that people weren't appreciated. And I said, I want to change that. And that came in the form of many, many incentives. It came in the form of looking after the brokers who are performing. It doesn't mean that we don't look after the ones who are underperforming, but what I mean is the brokers who are performing, they get a lot of freedom. Because when you're performing, you don't need us to hold your hand constantly or to be checking in. We're going to be there, and instead of us saying, where are you, we're going to be saying, what else can we do to help? And then on top of that, it's just been a lot of expansion, which I think is important for the brokers. It gives them big teams that they can work with. It gives them a big back end where, their whole focus is just selling or renting property. I don't want them to have to deal with the stuff that isn't their specialty. Because all these other parts of the job that we've built out the back, those are also full-time jobs. And some agents or some agencies, they have the broker doing every little bit of the job and they can't focus on the part which actually earns them the money, which is selling property or renting property. So that's why I opened White & Co. It was just, I'd saw in the market, I always wanted to be successful anyway. I always knew that I wanted to own a business. But I would just say that the big thing, the catalyst that forced me to do it, is I was sick of feeling underappreciated. And it was a good thing. It's been great. I've seen the market change a lot, and I've seen a lot of companies now appreciate their brokers more and put a lot of effort in, which it's good to see. I think the vision is important. I think it's important for the size we are now. We've not become some big corporate entity. We're not now, everyone needs to be in a suit, everyone needs to be this, we still have our personality, we still have our, what defines us, which is what we started as. And I think that also with the agents, you're very right. The agent sees, example, if an agent is on 50-50, they think 50% goes in my pocket. They put 1 million on the board, they think I get 500K. It's not how it works. And obviously that they don't own a business yet, and if they ever do, they'll understand that one day. But you can't take it to heart. When you are the CEO or the founder or the owner or the manager or whatever it might be, you take that job because it comes with more responsibility. It also comes with more bad times. It also comes with more hard times. That's the job. So, you can't complain about it, but I'd say something that's very good that I have with a lot of people downstairs. First of all, I'm still relatively young. I'm still on the floor. Every single day I'm in the office. And every single morning I go around every single person that I can to see what I can help them with. So I think that maintaining that has definitely been something that I don't want to lose. It's been something that I don't want to lose. Eventually the time will come. We have 400 people, maybe by the end of this year we have 600. I won't have time to go around every single person. It's impossible. But what I need to make sure is that there's a support system and a structure that makes everyone feel supported. Because if they're not talking to me, I want to make sure that my sales director has a close relationship. I want to make sure that my leasing director has a close relationship. Because it can't all come from me. It's fine. If you can't talk to dad today, then at least mum is there. You know, this sort of thing. So that's what I think is quite important. When the company first opens, I don't think people understand, obviously, every penny that came into the business for the first 3 years, reinvested. We went from being 16,000 square feet, our first office, 8 people, 16,000 square feet, an entire floor. We now have 41,000 square feet. Every floor has been renovated, which is expensive. Our property finder, our Bayut package, all the portals, increase. Visa costs, you name it, everything. It gets more and more expensive, but that's what comes with being a business owner. So in the beginning, yeah, absolutely. You would have seen the people for possibly the first year could potentially have been earning more than me. There was times when it would have been, but it's been different months when they would have, and other months when they wouldn't have. But now, obviously that doesn't happen, but that's the risk you take. Because the thing is, a broker can join a company, and even though they're joining that company 1 month, if they're experienced, it's not 1 month of work for them. They have years and years of a portfolio. But if you open a new business, that's month 1. So we're starting right at the bottom. So yeah, there has been times when that's happened, and you know, I've never resented it. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's just the way it is. No, it makes an agency big. It's just, obviously, it gets very hard. Example, Metropolitan has been around just older than us. We're 4 years old. I think they're maybe 5, maybe 6, something like this. To train people correctly within growing, example, we're 4 years old, we've grown 100 people per year. So we're 400 people. It's hard to train. It's hard to maintain. It's hard to keep your identity. It would be very easy. Tomorrow I could have 1,000 people. No problem. I just need to go on my LinkedIn and say yes to everyone that wants to apply. No problem. But that's not what we want to do. We want to create something that's going to last a long term. We want to, with the new regulations that have came into Dubai, you don't want to have brokers that don't know what they're doing, because guess who ends up getting in trouble? The brokerage. With all the anti-money laundering, with all that sort of stuff. Some people, if you're not well educated and you don't have the training, you're going to get yourself in trouble eventually. You can't just go accepting money into, example, this account, that account, so on and so forth. The Dubai market is getting safer and safer for investors. It's getting safer and safer for, you know, sellers as well, for all the regulations. So I think that it's not a numbers game, but it's good to have numbers. You know what I mean? Like, example, if you're a football team, you don't only have 11 players. You have backup and backup and backup and backup, so that if anything goes wrong, you have more people to step in. This is how you essentially have to look at an estate agency. You have your top players, but then you also have the reserve squad, and then you have the other squad and the other squad. That's how I think of it. No, I mean, commission is a byproduct of doing a good job. The brokers in the market, like we just spoke about, the brokers in the market that will fail are the people chasing commission. The brokers in the market that will succeed are the people who are setting out to create a good service, the people who are looking to create value. The brokers who are coming to someone, and instead of saying, okay, what do you want to buy? They're saying, okay, when you buy at this point, if you want to sell, we're going to sell it at this point. Once we release equity from there, we're also going to reinvest into this. They're talking about creating wealth. They're not just looking for one-off transactions. They're looking at building a portfolio with this landlord or this seller. And then they're looking at long-term. Because if you're doing this job is not a job. This is a career. Don't go into real estate for 1 year. It's not a job. It's not fun. It's not something you just go do for, oh, I just feel like doing it. If you're going to do this job, it's tough, it's hard, the training, everything. You never stop learning, okay? But the point is these brokers will not last. The brokers that are chasing commission, it comes and goes. The brokers that have good relationships, the money will keep flowing, and the buyer, seller, whoever that person is, they are very happy with the service, so they keep coming back. The broker that goes chasing a commission and sells a bad product, now that buyer has a bad taste in their mouth, they'll never deal with them again. And you've just lost someone that could potentially, you never know, this person may have bought Bitcoin. And when you sold them a property, Bitcoin was very bad, and now Bitcoin's very good, and they're a multi-millionaire, and you've lost out. So you have to think of these things. It's a long-term game. Number one is whoever does the most revenue. That's what business is. The number one business in the world, whatever it is today, whether it's SpaceX, Google, Apple, you name it. Okay? Simple as that. So no, we're not yet. The other side of it is the number one agency who sells the most property, considering that is what we're actually put here to do. If you're not either selling the most property or you have the highest revenue as a business, then you're not number one. And only one person can be one of those. So I'm not stupid enough to think that 4 years in that we're number one. I'd say for a company 4 years in the market, we're number one easily. But to say 4 years in the market, it doesn't mean anything to anyone. What I would say is when I first opened White & Co, I wanted to be, let's make some noise in the market. Let's talk about all the things we're doing, and the big companies are going to be scared and all this sort of stuff. Now, being a big agency owner and now looking at what the new brokerages are doing, they're coming out and doing the same thing. It's funny. Like the successful companies that were successful at the time, they must have just looked at me and laughed. You know, there is so much stock, inventory, agents, money in Dubai that everyone can make a bit of it without all having to hate each other. I think that you don't all need to be best friends, and it's not the same as what it potentially was back when you're talking about all the agency owners being best friends. It's definitely not like that now. When there's a lot of money involved, money changes people, but at the same time, you know, people come and go. It's the nature of this business. Sometimes some companies suit some people, sometimes it doesn't suit people. Sometimes people go and open their own agencies. It's fantastic. You can't open your own agency and then complain when someone else does it. You've got to support them. So what I'd say is we're definitely not number one yet. But either way, we're going to keep trying to get there. A lot of people have a big head start on us. But I'd say for 4 years in the market, we've got ourselves in a very good position, and I'm enjoying the journey. No, there's not going to be anytime soon. The population has grown at such a rapid rate that supply versus demand. The supply is not there for the demand, so prices are going to keep increasing. As simple as that. And then on top of that, for most of the properties that are handing over, which is going to solve a few of the problems, they're actually not handing over till 27, 28, which means that we've still got another 2 years almost of trying to get people into. There's not that many properties handing over, as many as we'd like there to be. Dubai do make a lot of headway as far as a lot of properties are brought to market compared to anywhere else in the world. But it's the fact is people are now realising that Dubai is a place to be. It's not just something that they heard one day. Everyone lives here now, or every friend I have from the UK has tried to move here or coming here. So it's a case of trying to keep on top of it, but you can't, because the population just keeps increasing. And I think right now we have nothing to worry about as far as a correction. And people use the term correction, but that would just be saying it slows down, because that's all you're looking for. Whereas right now it can't happen just because the economic terms, it won't allow it. Supply versus demand. As long as people keep coming, people keep needing apartments. People keep needing apartments, prices keep going up. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. And with the plans that they've got, why would it slow down? This place, as far as I'm aware, or as far as I feel, only gets better and better every single year, every single month. The term broker, I think it's just widely used. It's used a lot in the US. I think that Dubai went, if the US does this, then we'll take that as well, because it's a very simple model to replicate. And the US estate agency model or real estate brokerage model is way more similar to what we have here than the UK model of estate agency. So I think that they've just went, okay, broker works, but the term isn't the problem. It's the people who don't know how to be a consultant, because whether you call us a broker, whether you call us a consultant, investment specialist, sales specialist, whatever you want to call us, the thing remains the same, okay? You should still be going into each transaction, trying to make sure that all parties are happy, trying to make sure you're not just there to get your money, trying to make sure that you don't disappear as soon as you've got your commission and then someone tries to phone you and you're not answering the phone. Like, these are all simple things that should be expected in any job. But unfortunately, some bad brokers or bad brokerages in the past have given Dubai a bad name, or given, clients a bad taste in their mouth. And I think that the good agencies out there, which, it's very simple to see who the good agents are. You'll see them on billboards, you'll see them at the top of all the different portals. It's not hard to work out who's a good agency. It's up to us guys now to try and correct it. It's up to us to try and put a good taste in everyone's mouth and go, real estate brokers aren't that bad. Because after years and years of it not being that great, it's tough, but we're doing our best we can. It's tough because when I opened my brokerage, I was the first brokerage to offer out these 70% and the high commissions and all that. So you've got to think, if you're new now, opening up a brokerage, you're now competing with a lot of brokerages that offer these very high. It's hard to, if you're a new brokerage opening today and you have 0 staff, versus a brokerage which has 400 staff and they offer all this, you need to now compete. So you can't offer 50%, because otherwise they're going to go to this brokerage. But I'd say what you definitely need to do is make sure that you have a plan and you stick to it. You need to make sure the training is there. You need to pick your niche as well. Are you going to be someone that tries to get brokers just from other companies? Or are you going to be someone that brings over brokers from your home city or from another country? Or how's that going to be? Are you going to take brokers or are you going to make brokers? It's fine to do a bit of both, but you're going to have to work it out. And then after that, cash flow is why most companies fail. They get too excited, they overspend, they overinvest. I've done it myself as well, and I know what it's like when you're like, oh God, I've spent a bit more this month. So I'm just saying, keep an eye on your cash flow, and as soon as you can, as a brokerage owner, I promise you this is one of the biggest things that I tell you, stop doing deals. Stop doing deals. From the minute White & Co opened, I have never transacted a deal. I cannot be helping people properly while thinking about my own deals. It's not acceptable for any brokerage owner to be sitting there with someone who's put their life on the line, working for your company, and you're away trying to make yourself more money on top. Because they're trying to put money into the business. That's what you hired them to do. It's your job to help them. You shouldn't be also sitting trying to put more money into your pocket because you got a deal on the go and your deal's worth 500,000 dirham and they've got a deal on the go that's worth 50k. Your brain's going to be thinking about your one. You're not focusing. So my biggest advice is to focus fully on making everyone around you better. Find the best team that you can and grow it.